Seventh-day Adventist churches from Presque Isle, Caribou, Oakfield, and Lincoln joined together to hold their annual camp meeting at Baptist Park in Mapleton on the last week of August. Wayne Smith from the Caribou Seventh-day Adventist Church says this is their fourth consecutive summer camp meeting they've held.
No, this is like our fourth time we've held a camp meeting. We've held it here for the last 3 years, and each year it's become more involved. This year has been the biggest one we've had so far because we've had a lot of interest from the speakers that we've invited. Walter Veith is quite a renowned speaker in the Adventist circles, and we have people attending from down southern New York. We have some people that have talked about coming from Texas, and Walter Veith himself has flown in from South Africa by way of Vancouver, British Columbia.
The keynote speaker for this year's camp meeting was Walter Veith. Veith has traveled widely throughout North America and the world, presenting his visually documented Amazing Discoveries seminar series to large, enthusiastic crowds. The information is based on his in-depth research in the areas of evolution and creation, health and diet, and Bible prophecy. During this year's camp meeting, Veith presented compelling information detailing the war the papacy has had with Protestants over the past nearly 500 years. He demonstrated how the Protestant movement has been successfully infiltrated by Jesuits, working stealthily on behalf of the Pope in order to fracture them into some 33,000 different denominations around the world. He also outlined the papacy's current plan, in cooperation with the Lutheran Church's headquarters, to invite all charismatic and evangelical Protestants around the world to a World Summit in 2017, the anniversary of Martin Luther's Protestant Reformation, in order to escalate the process of subduing and merging those Protestant religious denominations into a one-world religion. Using voluminous documentation from Catholic sources, Veith explained how the papacy is also concomitantly executing a centuries-old plan to merge all countries under a single global federation, with all administered and dominated exclusively by a totalitarian papacy dictatorship.
So Walter is known for a lot of different things, but being soft-spoken and non-controversial is not one of his known qualities. He's very outspoken, but he's gentle with his comments, but he has quite a following.
And we saw that the Roman Catholic Church said it is the Catholic Church's birthright not only to own, but to control all media, the press, the entertainment world, what goes out over the media, and television, and other similar structures, which would include, of course, the internet. Then I want my people to wake up, get out of your slumber. This is serious. This is a joint document. Lutherans and Catholics are able jointly to conclude, therefore, regarding Scripture and tradition, Lutherans and Catholics are in such an extensive agreement that their different emphasis do not of themselves require maintaining the present division of the churches. In this area there is unity in reconciled diversity. What's that? So who's capitulated on the issue? Rome or the Lutherans? Can you see that this is one capitulation after the other? They've capitulated on grace, and justification. They've capitulated on the Mass. They've capitulated on idolizing the host. They've capitulated on the priesthood. They've capitulated on the church. They've capitulated on the position of the Pope. And now they capitulate on tradition.
Smith said when they found out Veith had accepted the speaking engagement, it became apparent there were going to be more people in attendance than Baptist Park could handle.
We started getting, I think it was like 300 registrants before December. And so we thought we better figure something out. So We thought about different places we could maybe move to the forum, maybe move to the fairgrounds, but that just didn't pan out either. And so we started looking online and we found a tent. This tent you see in the background here is, it's just a part of this tent that actually came with the purchase on eBay.
John Record from the Caribou Church helped set up the tent on the Sunday prior to the event.
We started putting the tent up Sunday morning. We gathered here about 8 o'clock in the morning. Kerry Simpson was kind of the lead guy in putting the tent up. None of us had ever done this before. So it's a tent that's 120 feet long, 80 feet wide. And you know, we would lay the tent out, look and say, well, it doesn't go this way, it must be a different way. And so we'd drag things around, move things around, and after about 4 or 5 hours, we figured we had enough together that we were gonna raise it up. We raised the tent up, and when we got it up in the air, we kind of decided, you know, there's a lot more we should have done before we put it up this way, but we got it up there. And
how did you raise it?
Well, we put poles underneath it and people grunted it up. And then the very last pole, the big pole in the middle, we had a small tractor and we put the bottom of the pole in the bucket and we pushed, kept on loosening the outer ropes, and the tent went up and up and up and finally stood it up.
Other speakers during the week-long camping experience were Mark Coleman and Gabriel Arruda. Coleman, his wife Kathy, and their 2 daughters have spent many years on the cutting edge of missions in Thailand refugee camps and in church planting among the Muslim Susu people of Guinea, West Africa. Mark currently serves as Adventist Frontier Missions International Field Director. Arruda is an artist by trade. He has found his greatest fulfillment in working for God. He gave his heart fully to the Lord when he was 22 years old, and that has forever changed his life. In 2007, he and his wife Jennifer were trained to do Bible work at the Amazing Facts Center of Evangelism. He has been traveling for over a decade, sharing the uplifting and encouraging messages of Bible prophecy.
I worked in the field of art for about 3 years with a ministry called Amazing Facts. And then while I was there, I just felt really, really compelled that just lay people, average church members, weren't getting the training that they wanted, and someone needed to go out there to give live presentations of what I believe the message for the last days are, and also train the church members how to reach people in their community.
In addition to Bible seminars, camp organizers also provided free breakfast and lunch meals and workshops in upholstery, woodworking, firewood, first aid and CPR, brick oven bread making, country living, blacksmithing, companion planting, and gardening.
And we're so thankful for the Baptist Park allowing us to have our 3rd consecutive meeting here. They've been so pleasant to us, and we just really appreciate it. We've done a few things to help them out, but nowhere near as much as we've received from them. We're just so grateful to them.
For WFFJ TV, I'm Dave DeSham.